President Tinubu arrives South Africa ahead of inauguration of re-elected President Ramaphosa.
Nigeria a priority to ours.
Nigeria launches first indigenous artificial intelligence to boost nation's socio-economic landscape.
Well done to you all and keep up the good work.
Still in the euphoria of Eid al-Adha as celebrations continue in many parts of the country. How did Nigerian pilgrims fare at 2024 Hajj? Correspondent has details on what next. Hello and welcome to the Network News and the NTA. I am Olajide Bello. Remember, you can watch this broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. And away from Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu is in South Africa ahead of the second-term inauguration of President Cyril Ramaphosa, slated for tomorrow, Wednesday, 19th June 2024. The president Tuesday morning departed Lagos, his home state, where he spent the Salah break and landed at the South African Air Force Base at about 5:30 p.m. local time. The inauguration of President Ramaphosa follows his re-election last week as president for a second term. Acting Permanent Secretary in Nigerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ben Okoye, says President Bola Tinubu's attendance at the inauguration underscores the importance of the relations between Nigeria and South Africa.
This is a very normal and usual visit, and Nigeria take this opportunity to also visit to strengthen our relationship. Nigeria and South Africa has come a long way. These are big players in the African continent, the biggest economies and the promoters of democracy. And today we are celebrating another success of democracy. So it's very important that Nigeria is in this country today to be with the South African people to ensure that we continue to show example to others.
An earlier statement by the presidential advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngilale, indicates that President Tinubu is to return to Nigeria after the ceremony. And on Eid celebrations back home, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, says he is poised to reposition the Nigerian Army for optimal performance in the theatre of operations. He stated this at a Salah luncheon organized for troops of Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinke in Maiduguri. Tina Toro reports.
The Salah luncheon is a way of boosting the morale of officers and men of the Joint Task Force Operation Hadinke, especially the wounded in action soldiers, to let them know that they are not alone in the struggle to recovery and acknowledge the gallantry of officers and men who daily sacrifice themselves on the altar of insurgency for the peace and stability of the country. Taking stock of his 1 year in office, the Chief of Army Staff highlighted successes recorded in the theatre of operations, especially the recovery of vehicles, arms and ammunition, which have further strengthened the armory and fleet of the theatre command for optimal performance. He urged officers and men to remain resolute in protecting the territorial integrity of the country and internal security.
As an army, it has been a year of unquantifiable sacrifice in blood and treasure, as we have lost gallant warriors and precious equipment to our ongoing fight against insurgency, terrorism, banditry, secessionist agitations, and oil-related crimes, amongst others.
Officers and men of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinke were treated to sumptuous meals. In another development, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, inaugurated newly constructed roads and rehabilitated ones, as well as an office complex in Maiduguri. Tina Turu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has reiterated the Nigerian Air Force commitment to collaborating with other security agencies in the fight against insecurity. He said this during an Eid al-Kabir luncheon with troops at the Air Component Hadarin Daji and the 213 Forward Operating Base in Katsina State. Awal Haliru reports.
The gallant officers of the air component Hadarin Daji and the 213 operating base. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, is here to celebrate Eid al-Kabir, the feast of sacrifice, with the troops. He stated that the gathering is to appreciate the frontline troops for their success in the ongoing fight against banditry and other crimes.
These successes by the air component Operation Hadarin Daji in synergy with other security agencies have continued to contribute to the security within the region. I am indeed impressed by the gains you have made in this theater of operations. Well done to you all and keep up the good work.
The boldness and the commitment you display every day are qualities that inspire us all and serve as a beacon of hope.
The Chief of the Air Staff acknowledged the supreme sacrifice made by the troops to keep the state and the country safe. During his visit, he inaugurated projects and inspected facilities at the new operations area at Katsina Airport, as well as a sports facility at the 213 Forward Operating Base.
This is just the beginning, as more recreational facilities will be provided here at the Nigerian Air Force Base in Katsina.
He assured the officers and men of their welfare, commending their response, which led to the recent successes in the ongoing onslaught against bandits in Katsina State. Awal Halaru, NTA News.
And still basking in the euphoria of Salah celebrations, the historic town of Daura, legendary home of Bayajida, hosted a vibrant Daba Hawan Magaji at the Daura's Palace. The event drew dignitaries including former First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari. Husseini Suleiman reports that the acting governor of Katsina State, Faruk Lawan, restated the state government's commitments to preserving the cultural heritage of traditional institutions.
The ancient town of Daura in Katsina State was filled with excitement and joy as sons and daughters from near and far returned home to participate in the grand Hawan Magaji ceremony and to reunite with loved ones. Emir of Daura, Umar Faruk Umar, led a procession of council members and horse riders through the major streets, receiving warm greetings from his subject before culminating at the palace.
I'm amazed by the level of display of the accessories of the horses and the type of horses I've seen here, including my son, who is also one of the Hakimis, but this is the first time I'm witnessing it, and it's such an amazing ceremony.
Alhamdulillah, that's all I can say. As you can see, the turnout, it explains everything. So we're very happy. See the mother, former First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, the Emir himself, and many more.
And Alhamdulillah, you can see how the Muslim Ummah are all out in Daura to celebrate with his eminence, the Emir of Daura, Dr. Umar Faruk Umar.
Hawan Magaji is observed 2 days after Salah in recognition of the significant contributions of women to the existence and prosperity of the Daura Emirate. In Daura, Hussein Suleiman, NTA News.
And back in the FCT, residents of Abuja, the nation's capital, seized the opportunity of the holiday to hang out with family and friends as they also visited recreational parks to celebrate Salah. Charity Zaka reports.
Despite the current economic reality in the country, a lot of Abuja residents were not deterred from making out time to mark this year's Eid al-Kabir celebration.
Here to celebrate Salah with my family. I came with my kids and my sister, and we're having fun.
It's very, conducive. As you can see, people are much, so we are enjoying ourselves with our kids and younger ones. To all Nigerians, let's be optimistic rather than being pessimistic about the country. We know we are all facing hardship. We pray to Almighty Allah that He help the people that are governing us to help the country.
The Salah celebration at this recreational park did not only witness the presence of Muslim faithful alone, as people of other faiths and nationalities also took time to celebrate with Muslim brothers and sisters.
I came to have fun with my friend. Yes, because of the Salah celebration. It's very nice. Yes, I like the fact that it's very peaceful in the country today. Yes.
This place is very fun. We came to celebrate Salah in Magic Land and it's so fun. We've had a lot of fun.
So made.
Happy Salah.
Happy Salah, everybody.
The atmosphere is cool and everything is perfect. Yes. So we are really having fun here and we're enjoying the Salah celebration. We wish Nigeria the very best in this trying time, and we wish the sacrifices made during the Salah will ease the affairs of the country, and hopefully by next year the hardship will suppress and God will make things easier for the present administration.
Others pray for Nigeria, saying they are hopeful that the economy will eventually improve. Charity Zakka, NTA News.
And to indigenous digital innovation, the first ever artificial intelligence AI solution developed by a Nigerian for Nigerians to provide access to localized and relevant information needed to augment the various sectors of the country's socio-economic landscape through advanced technology has been launched. Nigeria Info Generative Pre-Trained Transformer (NIGPT) is an information retrieval system and research engine that is trying to replace Google in Nigeria. Adiola Komiakere reports.
In an age where information and data thrives, access to updated information is crucial. With emerging technologies, the world is already witnessing boundless possibilities to solve life's complex problems. The vast potential of AI technologies include fostering innovation and enabling the creation of highly efficient products for the ecosystem. Pioneering artificial intelligence in Nigeria with the introduction of NIGPT is to enhance the efficiency and productivity of businesses and organizations.
If questions about Nigeria are not a priority to this system, let us make questions about Nigeria a priority to ours and create an AI system that is able to answer country-specific questions that the legacy players cannot answer.
The web-based text-enhanced Nigeria Information Retrieval System leverages cutting-edge technology to provide accurate, contextual, relevant information with real-time solutions. The innovation is adjudged a timely solution to improving the quality of life for all Nigerians.
We have no choice but to key into every effort that is meant to utilizing technology for development of our country, because we can't do without it.
And so it's a significant advantage for us. We can now start to solve problems from a local context.
It's about to see ourselves and believe that this spirit we have, they can do spirit. We can transform it to another thing, and it's going to help the economy of this country.
The drivers behind the new technology promise to revolutionize Nigeria with latest homegrown technologies using AI. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakere, NTA News.
Now, tackling climate change crisis, flooding and other challenges of climate change are said to have far-reaching impact on communities and livelihoods in Nigeria. With the increasing effects of global warming, experts in Lagos say there is need for more strategic and collaborative approach to mitigation and adaptation to save lives and ecosystems. Diana Ajali reports.
From flooding to unusual heat waves, the challenges of climate change are evident and getting worse. Rapid urbanization and growth in population, for instance, have caused many residents to live in flood-prone areas and wetlands, worsening the effects of flooding.
Everywhere is flooded, it messes up the car, it gets into our houses.
There is a canal, now they have blocked that canal. This water cannot go anywhere. When you see between 3 days now, the water will turn to green. And if everybody is entering the water, will be scratching his leg. See, when people is coming to your shop, they say, your shop did not reach that water place. You say, yes, I can't come.
Keke don't last more than a year here.
Experts say sustainable initiatives and policies are crucial to addressing challenges associated with climate crisis.
We talk about climate action,
talk about the need to prevent.
Resilience means communities being prepared for the impact of climate change. With rising sea levels, with global temperature rising, communities must, adapt.
Ensure that you are in a resilient infrastructure, your shelter is well protected.
For the Lagos State government, mainstreaming effective and equitable climate actions will not only reduce losses and damages for nature and people, but also provide wider benefits.
We stand tall among the communities of nations because we must do all that we need to do to defy the odds.
We have also succeeded in creating a lot of canals and so on in order to discharge the stormwater when it comes.
Localization of technology to upscale adaptation initiatives, financing, effective waste management, and building community resilience are some of the strategies suggested by environmentalists. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
You're watching the Network News. More reports when we return. Thanks for being there. Now to the third tier of government in Rivers State. Following the end of tenure of local government chairman in Rivers State, most of the council headquarters have been occupied by youth and women from the areas. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the event was amidst security presence in response to a late attempt to vandalize government assets.
The succession process for the local government councils in Rivers State has been a subject of contention after the Martin Amehude-led faction of the State House of Assembly amended the local government law extending their tenure by 6 months. This was, however, invalidated by a Rivers State High Court judgment. With the tenure of the immediate past local government council leadership across 23 local government areas expiring on June 17, 2024, there has been concerns over alleged threats by some of the council chairmen not to vacate office.
They should allow the existing peace to enjoy in Rivers State. Our tenure has elapsed.
Today I listened to his broadcast and he had directed that the HLGS should take over from the council chairman. And I'm ready to do that.
Across the local government councils visited, youth and women gathered, according to them, to wish the outgone chairman farewell. Some of them said their presence is also to protect government assets from vandalism.
It would be unwise for anybody elected for 3 years, which was the last midnight, to say that he will not leave power.
People of Obia all came out in mass to see the council and also wish them well.
The governor has already directed heads of local government administration to take over leadership of the councils. The Nigerian police personnel are also stationed at the various council headquarters to forestall breakdown of law and order. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Now talking health, Bayelsa State is adopting measures in collaboration with relevant partners to ensure cholera is not a threat to public health in the state. This follows outbreak of the disease in some states of the country. Ifeoma Akoji has a report.
Cholera is a waterborne disease, and so one of the first things you want to do to control the spread of cholera is ensuring proper hygiene. You should be careful of your source of water.
Cholera is known as a disease affecting people with inadequate access to safe water and basic sanitation. While the NCDC recently called the public's attention to cases of cholera reported from 96 local government areas in 30 states of the Federation, in Bayelsa State, only 14 confirmed cases, culminating from 1st January till date, have been recorded.
We had close to about 500 cases of persons who have been reported to have had diarrhea in the past, and those are the persons we call suspected cases for cholera. But we have not recorded any deaths this year because of all of the measures the Ministry of Health had put in place, because of the massive support also we've gotten from the government. We have done very well.
The level of cholera in Bayelsa State is still within the normally acceptable level because we have all facilities and all personnel on ground to ensure that we respond anytime there is an outbreak, and that's what we've always done.
Our investigation shows that the Bayelsa State government has launched a comprehensive campaign and initiated effective partnership and other measures to address issues around cholera.
We're talking about a lot of our hospital services being top-notch facilities. We have a system now where most of our facilities are working, and we have healthcare workers who have been trained. We also have surveillance officers all across our health facilities, even in the communities.
Admitting that vaccines provide the fastest intervention to prevent, limit and control cholera outbreaks, public health experts insist that prevention and management such as safe water hygiene and sanitation are viable keys to forestall impacts of this preventable disease. In Yenagoa, Ifeoma Ihuji, NTA News.
And away from health, as part of their mandate to uphold professionalism, the Nigerian Navy College of Accounts and Finance, Oriental, has trained another set of students, officers and ratings in the field of accounts and finance. The training is expected to boost careers of officers in the Nigerian Navy. Grace Nana reports.
24 weeks of drilling for these 109 officers who were trained in various courses including Officers Basic Course Batch 36, Petty Officers Qualifying Course Batch 44, Leading Hand Qualifying Course Batch 44, and Basic Qualifying Course Batch 52, culminates in their admittance in the college. The special guest of honor, Flag Officer Commanding Naval Training Command, represented by the Command Ashore and Sea Training Officer, and the Commandant, Navy College of Accounts and Finance, Oriental, Captain Oshualale Eyitayo, called on the graduating students to uphold high level of integrity and professionalism in their chosen fields.
We must strive to continue to nurture our democracy. I therefore urge you to exhibit deep respect for the rule of law and fundamental human rights. In addition, shun all acts that are prejudicial to the interests of the service and the nation at large.
You, your family and friends, and all of us should be proud of your achievement as you are graduating from this prestigious college, renowned for our excellent teaching, research, and innovation. These are excellent qualities, equipping you to make a difference in changing lives and shaping society for the better.
Presentation of certificates to the graduating students and awards to best graduating students rounded off the event. In Aba, Grace Nana, NTA News.
Residents of Abuja are having a free train ride since the launch of the train service in the FCT. Correspondent Kama reports on his experience as he boarded the train from Metro Station to the last stop at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
Today, I bring you a groundbreaking development in the transportation sector that is set to revolutionize commuting in Abuja. On the 29th of May 2024, the highly anticipated Metro light train free ride was flagged off, and it has been creating a buzz ever since. Imagine a hassle-free journey from the Abuja Metro station to Idu train station all the way to the Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport Access. And the best part, this free ride runs at least 3 times to fro in a day.
And directed that it should be free till the end of the year. So I believe that we should also use the services that we provide. That way we can see how it gets better. It's a great effort.
We had the privilege of speaking to some of the passengers who have experienced this new form of transportation, and their testimonies were nothing short of glowing. They raved about the efficiency, comfort, and cost-effectiveness of the free ride.
This is actually my first time entering a train, and I'm so marveled. It's very fun. I didn't expect it to be this fun.
It's totally free, and the staffs are very, very good. They are kind. They are very interactive.
This is something we've been hearing about long ago, but had not experienced it. So I think experiencing it today is a thing of joy.
I feel good, very well.
To the government, thank you for creating such an innovation, and they should do more.
We know they are making efforts to ameliorate the hardship. So this is another way for us to know that really they are thinking our own way.
Like Oliver Twist, they couldn't help but ask for more, urging the authorities to extend this fantastic service to Nyanya and Karu routes of the FCT. So, if you're looking to simplify your daily commute, experience top-notch service, and save some coins, in the process. Hop on board the Metro Light train, free ride while it lasts. Kama Kama, NTA News.
Now let's take another break. Network News continues shortly. Many thanks for being there. Now to agriculture. As part of efforts to enhance food production, Enugu State Government has distributed more than 1,000 bags of rice seedlings to rice farmers in the state. Chiegonu Aro reports that the program is to empower 1,200 farmers.
Food is one of the most essential needs of man to survive in life. With the recent rising food crisis in the country, the Enugu State Government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has signed a memorandum of understanding with a private firm to improve food production in the state. It is against this backdrop that rice farmers in Uzowani local government area have been empowered with relevant skills and rice seedlings, Faro 44, to boost rice production. The move is part of the ongoing Sustainable Action Plan for economic recovery in the state.
As a government, we have given ourselves targets to ensure that all our activities around rice production, that the output runs between 600 metric tons to 1 million metric tons.
The Chief Executive Officer of the private firm, Chuka Mordi, emphasized the importance of transforming and developing Ada rice in the present-day economy.
The long-term reason is the development of Ada rice processing facility. We're growing rice, soybean, and expanding the livestock footprint of Ada rice.
The beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the state government for the gesture.
We are happy and we still have hope that we are, even with the training that we've acquired all the while before this time. First was pumping machines, then other trainings that we have been going till this very one now.
Enugu State Government have made an excellent and positive transformation towards the farmers.
It is expected that the move by the state government will yield good fruits. In Enugu, Chiegonu Aro, NTA News.
Meanwhile, farmers in Kaduna State have appealed for federal government intervention in the supply of fertilizer as the price of the input goes above 50,000 naira per bag. The appeal is coming as the 2024 wet season farming activities commenced across the state. Haruna Mohammed reports.
Fertilizer is one of the critical farming inputs guaranteeing good yields for farmers. However, this year, the price of the input has become a major challenge to smallholder farmers. It is in the light of these that farmers, agro-dealers, and fertilizer producers and suppliers association of Nigeria appealed for federal government intervention.
We are aware that farmers are finding it very difficult to access fertilizer, and because there are just 2-3 operators who have monopoly power, and we know that monopoly situation arises when people have control over the price and over the output. And unfortunately for us, the key players there are very strong. That government has to intervene, but that's the only way you can be able to break monopoly power.
They also called on the government to adopt measures necessary that will drastically reduce the price of fertilizer to avoid food crisis and inflation on food produce in the country.
In the immediate, government has that executive power to actually break the monopoly power of those people that are controlling and distributing this fertilizer. So if that is done, fertilizer will be readily available at affordable prices by the masses, because if you look at the bulk of these farmers, especially in villages, are poor.
When contacted, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security says it has commenced the distribution of fertilizer donated by the central bank to states to cushion the effects of the challenges. Haruna Mohammed.
Now, so updates from the 2024 Hajj exercise. The 2024 pilgrims to Saudi Arabia leaves the Valley of Munna for Makkah, signifying the completion of this year's Hajj rites. Correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim takes a look at the journey so far in respect of the Nigerian contingent.
The
The airlift of the Nigerian pilgrims for this year's Hajj, which commenced on 15th May, was concluded on 10th June 2024, 72 hours before the deadline set by the Saudi Authority. All the more than 60,000 Nigerian pilgrims also moved to Medina pre-Arafat. The pilgrims who observed the Arafat day on 15th June after spending a night at Naval had a stopover at Muzdalifah and later went back to Muna, where they stayed for 2 days, during which they performed the symbolic stoning of the devil. The pilgrims are now back in Mecca, which signifies the completion of this year's Hajj rites.
We have been into this business for a very long time. We never had it so good like this time around.
Especially on the plain of Arafat. You could not get food until it was about 6 p.m. You got something to share among ourselves. But this time around, you see we have 3 square meals, both in Mena and Arafat.
What I consider unique is especially the usage of ICT generally. I studied that from even the Medina, from the Arab documentation. Most of their things they did is on ICT.
We have so many responsibilities that have been taken away by NACO, and which we believe the state can do better in trying to assist the federal government to reduce the burden on NACO. Issues of welfare in terms of health, in terms of accommodation, in terms of feeding, and then reduction in the cost of Hajj itself, and getting subsidy from the federal government.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says all the issues raised will be looked into for appropriate action. One issue that stands out in this year's Hajj is the introduction of a Hajj permit, popularly known as Nusuk card, by the Saudi Authority. This, many stakeholders observed, has gone a long way in preventing intruders from accessing the holy sites. In the meantime, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria says arrangements have been concluded for the airlift of the Nigerian pilgrims back home in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Another break beckons. The news continues shortly. Glad to know you're still there. Rail transportation in Nigeria is undergoing transformation, with refurbishing and reconstruction from coaches down to the track lines to deliver efficient service to the people across the country. Unfortunately, the tracks have been vandalized by unscrupulous elements who are bent on thwarting government efforts. Vivian Izedefe in this report examines the challenges and possible ways to protect these critical national assets.
Since the introduction of rail system in Nigeria, it has been one of the cheapest and safest mode of traveling across the country in the 70s and 80s. No doubt, this mode of transportation brought succor to many who could not afford the luxury of traveling by air or road. After so many years, the train services went moribund and was resuscitated by the previous government and subsequently inherited by the present administration that is investing huge amount of money to revitalize and modernize the sector for efficient service delivery. This sector, however, has been under threat by hoodlums who are bent on vandalizing the train tracks across the operational train corridors in the country, thereby causing derailment of the train. The recent is the Kaduna-Abuja and Abuja-to-Kaduna incident, which happened 3 times in less than 2 weeks.
If there's adequate checks and balances to monitor the movement and the usage of the tracks when nobody is available, like what we call in security the ungoverned spaces, when those tracks are not being used immediately, there should be a mechanism to monitor if somebody is moving toward that place or not.
The pattern have been building up in the last 8, going to 10 years. It started first from the fact that the railway lines were not working. So a market, let me call it a black market, developed from those that use the metal. The market for it is there. I think the law enforcement agents have to do something about that market.
It didn't start today. If you remember Itakpe, the Itakpe rail line was vandalized a few weeks after installation. The Abuja-Kaduna rail line has been vandalized several times. The fact remains that as long as people remain poor and there is nothing incentivizing their going into business, then the tendencies for crime will continue to increase.
Notwithstanding, these illegal activities can be eliminated and possibly eradicated through the use of technology, among others.
Our critical infrastructure is the responsibility of all the citizens to protect them. So as a citizen, when they bring such items, you should be able to say, no, you are not buying. And when you do not buy those things, the people will be discouraged.
And they should embrace the technology, put all those track lines under surveillance and monitoring, and also provide security to safeguard it, because they are national assets, and it is the responsibility of government to protect national assets.
It is therefore believed that if all the necessary measures are adopted, there will be less derailment of train in the country. In Abuja, Vivian Ezadefe, NTA News.
And away from rail line vandalism, the Nigeria Police Force has had 8 reforms attempts in the past, and the major impediment has been lack of the political will. So the Ministry of Police Affairs under the Tinubu administration says priority has been accorded to the reforms through resource mobilization and has yielded the desired result. Francis Form reports on the impact of the reforms in the internal security mandate of the police.
The Tinubu administration has reinforced legal framework supporting the West African Information System, and key security institutions are now equipped with WAPIS terminals, enabling access to crucial information that has greatly enhanced collaborative efforts in combating criminal activities within West Africa.
The center provides an avenue where relevant law enforcement agencies work together to pool criminal data, analyze and disseminate key criminal intelligence products to support internal security operations, and share intelligence with the security agencies in Nigeria and with members of the international security community.
Some specific achievements so far, I would say, is we have made significant progress with the National Criminal Data Operations Center, which is very critical.
Another feat is the launch of the Special Intervention Squad to address the rising cases of violent crimes in some parts of the country.
With expertise in counter-terrorism, hostage rescue, and intelligence analysis.
Significant investment have also been directed towards surveillance system, drones, and communication technology to bolster the force capacity for real-time data collection and response. Other achievements include launch of the Nigeria Police Force Veterans Foundation to assist retired police officers, strengthened collaboration with Interpol to combat transnational crimes, enhancement of the community policing initiatives, and the implementation of measures to improve police accountability and transparency in service delivery.
We've been able to secure commitment on technical assistance and funding, which is very critical, from various partners locally and internationally to strengthen the MPF.
What the Tinubu administration met on ground was the recruitment of 10,000 police personnel on an annual basis, but the administration has further scaled it.
But now we are targeting at 30,000 police personnel every year for at least 4 years. Yes, so that we can fill the gap.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Police Force says it has made substantial progress in the arrest of some individuals involved in crimes in the last 1 year, including 4,826 armed robbery suspects, 3,078 kidnapping suspects, 2,479 suspects for rape and sexual crimes, 1,243 unlawful possession of firearms, 3,523 cult-related crimes, and 3,303 for murder and homicide cases. Additionally, 13,392 suspects were arrested for other offenses. The force has rescued 1,769 kidnapped victims and recovered 2,566 firearms. 19,510 rounds of live ammunition of various caliber, and 1,745 vehicles and motorcycles recovered nationwide. With timely information from the public, the force promised to record more successes as the Tinubu administration motivates its personnel. Franks is from NTA News.
European Union member states failed to seal a preliminary deal for 3 top job positions for the next 5 years, and Kenya government scraps most new tax hikes as hundreds protest. These and more with Uche Ugochukwu.
European Union leaders have postponed a deal on how to divide the top jobs in the bloc. They were expected to give political backing to Ursula von der Leyen for a second term as European Commission President, Antonio Costa as European Council head, and Kaja Kallas as the EU's top diplomat during a meeting in Brussels.
They made proposals, and we'll have the occasion in the days to come to work further and to prepare the decisions that we need to make.
In another news, United Nations says global conflicts killed 3 times as many children and twice as many women in 2023 than in 2022, as overall civilian fatalities rose by 72%. United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, told the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva that warring parties were increasingly pushing beyond boundaries of what is acceptable and legal. And Kenya's government on Tuesday reverted plans to impose multiple tax hikes, amending a controversial bill that sparked protests where more than a dozen demonstrators were arrested. The East African country has struggled with high cost of living crisis, which critics warned would only worsen under the levies laid out in a bill due to be debated and passed before June 30. The presidency announced that it would scrap many of the bills as hundreds of protesters assembled near Parliament Tuesday, with police firing tear gas and making arrests. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Has been announced of Mrs. Elizabeth Ovueme at the age of 82. Late Mrs. Ovueme was a talented and creative actress popularly known by her comedy name as Mrs. Ovaleria Uradia Mwogbe, alias G4. She was the wife of Zebro Daya in the new masquerade program. Details of her funeral arrangements will be announced in due course. And up next is the weather forecast.
Thank you for joining us on the weather forecast. Wednesday is expected to start off with very early morning thunderstorms to parts of Kaduna, Taraba, the Federal Capital Territory, Benue, Plateau, Nasarawa, Kogi, Kwara, while isolated rains are expected to parts of Imo, Anambra, Edo, Delta, Ogun, and the coastal belts of the country. With sufficient moisture, good convective available potential energy, the afternoon and evening hours looks very good for thunderstorms, mostly to the north and the north-central region of the country, while to the southern region, moderate rains are expected. Stand by for the air quality index and temperature forecast across some selected cities. I am Theodora Itzum. Thank you for watching.
And that concludes the network news. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Olajide Bello.